All right, so this is fast and kind of dirty intro to 11.5, which is really about log rules. Okay, so these are like square root rules or exponent rules. In fact, to even start with these, we should remember the exponent rules. So let's recall some exponent rules. So if I have, say, b to the x times b to the y, what's that? B to the, yeah, Cole, say that louder. X plus y, right? There's two bases. This represents x b's multiplied together times y b's multiplied together. So all told, I've got x and y b's multiplied together. Okay, so we got to remember that one. How about this guy? This one subtracts powers, so I get b to the x minus y. Thanks. Okay, and the last one is b to the x to the some power. So b to the x to the t. That'd be b to the x times b, right? Cool. These make some log rules happen. So you're recalling these, right? These are things you know. These are things you should put in your brain. Put in brain. Okay. Okay. So log of a product is the sum of the logs. That's really another way of saying this rule. It's not quite obvious why this is another way of saying this rule. We'll look at it in a second. Cool. Log base b of x over y. Right? So log of a quotient is, if the log of a product was adding, the log of a quotient is probably subtracting. And that's really just the same thing as this other rule. Again, it's not totally obvious, but we'll get there. How about this guy? This guy's kind of weird. This tells you that the log base b of something to a power is, and this one gets funny, the power falls down the outside. So you get p times log base b of x. Okay, cool these? These are really things that you should remember. So the same way you put these in your head, stick these in there with them. I would advise that you put them in next to one another. Cool? You guys want to see why one of these works? The bottom one? Yeah. So you want to see why the bottom one works? Okay, so let's try the bottom one. Okay, so let's think about the bottom one. If I've got the log base b of x to the p, okay, let me look at this, and I'm going to think to myself, x is b to some power, say the n. Right? There is an answer to what power of b x is. I'm just going to let that answer be n for now. So this would be log base b of b to the n to the p. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. So this would be log base b of, I'm using the bottom power rule over there. So that's b to the n times p. And now we know this answer. What's this answer? Yeah, this is n times p. Okay, see that? And then I need to think about what this meant. You guys see that? I want to know what this meant about n. So if I think about what this means about n, this means that log base b of x is n. Okay, see that? One way I could think about that is I could think apply log base b to both sides of this. Right?
Can you show us an example with like numbers?
With like some numbers? Yeah, I'll get there.
Variables are like throwing me off.
Yeah, I'll finish this quick and then we'll do that. Okay, so if n is log base b of x, then I could put log base b of x in for n, right? So I could say, okay, this is log base b of x times p, which is really just a rearrangement of my third rule there. You guys see that? Okay, there's a lot of variables in here. If you're not playing along with variables on this level, just put these 3 rules in your head. Okay? If you memorize these 3 rules and just remember that they're a little bit related to the exponent rules, that's okay for this level of math. Cool? All right, should we do an example of some numbers?
Yeah.